the last newsletter was on speech to text, right? And so we talked about the steps for having students being able to speak and it writes for them, or even just being able to type on inside documents. So this session, this newsletter is on how to make paper handouts accessible for writing. So we want to give students who they are really speech to text users, or maybe they are typers. We want to make sure that even their paper handouts and worksheets, that they become digital so that they can use speech to text. So that's what all of these resources are about. And the one thing that they have in common is that you need to take a picture of the handout. And so we're helping you support that way. So you could use a paper document. You could use a copy machine to copy your paper document. But what we're recommending is that you use your cell phone. So I'm actually going to share on another device here and kind of show you what I mean. So bear with me as I get my things going. So in a minute, you'll see I'm on my iPad and you'll see that I have the camera going. So this is a locker shelf, and a locker shelf, what's nice about it is that when I put my iPad on there and get it situated, now I can take a nice clean picture of a handout. And you could actually stack this on textbooks and whatever. So what we're recommending is that you use your cell phone or an iPad and you take pictures of handouts. And so I'm going to just show you, and I'm going to kind of go quickly through all of these steps. But what's nice about the newsletter, it's broken down into individual parts. And so I'm going to turn this camera off so that I'm not staring at my half a body. For example, if you want to know more about markup, then you go to the section on markup. So I'm going to just go through these ways that you can, after you've taken a picture, ways that students can use typing or speech to text. So I have my picture, and I'm actually going to send this to myself through email so that you can see, oops, not to my Kindle, through my email. So that you can, I'm going to show you markup first. So this is going to be sent to me. And then I'm just going to open up my email and look for my picture here. And so now that I've taken the picture, as a teacher, I've taken the picture and now I've sent it to a student. The student just has to, if they're on an iPad, they open it up. And now if you look at the very top of the screen, there's a circle with a marker. I'm going to tap on it so it should kind of highlight. So that is the markup tool. So right through email, they were able to get the marker and start marking up. And if I touch the plus sign, then that lets me put a text box, and I can move that text box around, and I can use, if I double tap on it, I can use dictation. As soon as that goes away. So anyway, you get the handout or the idea of using markup, fast and easy to do. Another tool that you could use once you have that picture is there's an app called SnapType. And I'm going to not get the pro one. Let me just type in the free version. So SnapType is a free app, and you can also use it on Chromebooks. So Chromebooks, you would go to the Google Play Store and download the app, install it for Chromebooks. And but it's also available for iPads. I'm using it on the iPad now. But you would go to New Document is where you would start. And so let me delete this one. Sorry, Cami, I'm deleting one that I named after you. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go to New Document. see how I can't do more because this is the free version, so you can't do more than 3. Okay, so I go to New Document, and now my choice is the camera or the library. So I can take a picture if I want to, but having this locker shelf is a nice tool to use. But what I also like is you can go to the library, and that library is actually your Google Photos. And so I can pull up the picture that that I had just taken and sent to somebody through email, and now a student can pull it up and use SnapType. The benefits of SnapType over markup is that anywhere you place your finger, then a text box shows up. And so I can tell that that text is going to type too big for me. Up at the very top, that white circle is a sliding bar, and I can kind of make that text smaller. And then I can just type in here the answer, or a answer. I don't know if it's the correct answer. And you could also, of course, use the speech to text. I think because I'm recording right now, it's not going to let me use the microphone. I can see the microphone is grayed out, but just know that as long as you're not inside Google Meet and presenting, you could use that microphone and use the dictation. And so, and another quick tip on this is if I tap and hold a word, then see how that red circle, and when I remove my hand, then that is gone. So that's one way how students can edit that. There was one other thing that is kind of nice is that say I wrote, or I have trial and I have a word in here, and the student saves it, but I need another student to also work on that same document. These three dots here, if I tap on that and select duplicate, I have to rename the duplicate. So I'm just going to name it trial 2. But see where it says duplicate, remove text and lines. And so now you get a clean sheet, even though it's more than 3 documents, it works. And so now this is clean, but if I go back to that original trial, it still has that text in it. So you'll have to kind of work with teacher or students to make sure that they're not so that they're not cheating. I'm reading in the chat. So can students draw lines? And in the free version, they cannot draw lines. And in the paid version, you can. The paid version is $4.99. So it's kind of worth it. Another like tool that you can use in the pro version is you can have as many pictures as you want, but also you can change the background to different colors. And so that may help with students with low vision or students with dyslexia. The color thing may help them. So, so anyway, just a thought for the SnapType. And let's see, I'm going to switch back to my computer now. So I'm going to stop sharing here. And I'm going to share so that I can show you a couple more things. So on Google Slides, you can also, can you see my, yeah, okay. So on Google Slides, you can also add a handout to Google Slides and then add text boxes to it. But if you see here, this is moving around. We don't like that, and that's just because all I did was insert the picture. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to take out these text boxes by just highlighting and pressing delete on my keyboard. And this time I'm going to add that same picture, but I'm going to make it be in the background. So I clicked on background, choose image, and I'm going to upload the image. It's something that I have already saved in my, browse. I already have it saved on my in my computer. And so that would be one thing that you would need to know is how to take a picture and then how to save it and where to save it so that you can pull it up later. So here is the picture, and now students can't move it. And so you could easily add a text box right here, and then students could type in it. My suggestion, and if you watch the video that I have, because when I tap off of that text box, it's invisible. One thing that you can do some things with that, but it might be easier if instead you insert a 1-by-1 cell, and then I'm scooching it this way, and oops, I don't need it that bigger. When the arrow turns to 4 arrowheads, then that's how you know you can move it. And I can also move it with arrows. And then once I click off of it, you can still kind of see that text box then. And if I wanted to, I could, and I do want to, I usually fill it with white so that that text box kind of shows up more.
Gail,
So,
can you copy that, duplicate that, and then just put it over each line?
yes, exactly. That's the next step, is just duplicating. So make it be, spend time getting it the right size for one of the squares, and then just duplicate, and it kind of fills all around. So, and this obviously would work good with Chromebooks, but also it works fine on iPads that are when they're using Google Slides in the browser, not necessarily in the not necessarily the app, but in the browser. And I heard another ding. Is there another chat, or no? I'm going to keep going if not.
Nope, I think we're good, Gail.
Okay, so I'm going to show you Kami really quickly. Kami with a K. So Kami lets you print on or type on documents and PDFs and images. So here is a picture that I took. Nope, that's not it. Hang on. I took a picture, this one. So here's a worksheet and it's a PNG, so I know it's a picture. So I'm double clicking on it, and because I already have Kami installed and I have a video in the newsletter on how to install Kami and things. So I'm going to do open with Kami. Once I click here, because it's an image, it's going to ask if I want to convert it, and I do want to convert it. That will allow me to write on it. And so once it's converted, then I can use the tools over here to add I can run OCR. I'm not going to do it right now, but running OCR is always a good thing. I'm just not doing it because of the time limit. So now I have a text box and I can type in here. And if you have dictation turned on, say you can use Kami through iPads, but if you're on a Chromebook and you have dictation turned on your Chromebook, you can type in there. If you have the paid version of Kami, then you could, the text could read out loud and you could write or include voice comments. But the paid version, I think, is $100 a year. So not a very cheap thing. And so, but I feel that the text boxes with dictation turned on is a good thing. And with this, you can draw, you can highlight, you can draw lines and things like that. So Kami is a pretty good tool. Again, thanks so much. Have a good weekend, everybody.